Sometimes it has big advantages to name a range of cells. Let's say in this case, this range has been called analyst. Why is that sometimes so helpful? First of all, in the name box, you will find those names, and when you select one of them, it automatically goes to the range that was named that way, no matter where you are on whatever sheet you are. Another advantage is, when you do that, is that your formulas, like counting how many times did analyst 1 measure a certain strain, you will just use in there the range analysts instead of saying A2 through A21. That is much more informative. So when you ever look at the formulas behind all of this, it tells you that you are doing this in analyst, strange, etc. How do you create those names? As I said already, you can find them here and you can name them here, but if you want to see what they really stand for, you go to Formulas, Name Manager, and you will find those three names. Let's say we are deleting readings for a moment. I select it. At this moment it is Analyst C2 through C21. I'm deleting it. So we are going to create a new one. New readings. Refers to C2, Control Shift arrow down through C21. Accept it, accept the name, and there is readings again. So now my name box has readings, analyst, and strains. So the formulas here can use those names. That naming I just did is a little bit involved, it looks. So let's find another way of naming things. In this case we are going to find the correlation between age measurements, weight management, height management, and forced vital capacity, which is a pulmonary function. So how can I name this age, weight, height, etc.? Select the entire table. A1, Control Shift arrow down, Control Shift arrow to the right. Go again to Formulas, but this time not Name Manager, but Create from Selection. And let us create names from the values in the top row. Sometimes you want also in the left column. And at the moment I click on OK. Not only do my formulas work now, but I also got those names. Just check it in the name box. And there they are. Weight, height, forced vital capacity, and age. What is so nice about that is that it saves you a lot of work. And there is another advantage of names, and that's what I'm going to show you here. I put in this cell a formula that calculates the correlation between age and age, which is 1, and then between age and weight, which is a negative correlation. That means, so what we want to do in here is we use the correl function. But instead of using array 1, the range, I use the range name, but instead of using the range name, I'm going to do even a better job. I'm going to say, give me G2 indirect. That means it is going to indirectly go to the range with the name, with the word age. So I have indirect nested inside correl. And if I do that by going to, let me show you here, here is the indirect function, make G2 a locked G, so it will always be in column G, even when I copy the formula to the right, but 2 will change into 3, 4, 5, etc. How do you do that? With the famous F4 key, and you keep doing F4 until you get what you want. G locked, 2 not locked, nothing locked, etc. Then I copy that formula down, I copy it to the right, and I find all my correlation coefficients. I could highlight the ones that are greater than 0.7. For instance, with home conditional formatting, create a new rule, use a formula, and say equals. And then H2, you always take the first cell in a range, and Excel will automatically adjust to H3, H4, etc. If H2, but I want the absolute value of H2, ABS, H2 is greater than 0.7, then let's give a background color, a fill color, as follows. So I will only mark the ones that are extremely high, whether it's negative or positive. If you don't want to see the ones that are 1, because they are correlated with themselves, we can do that too, of course, with conditional formatting, a new rule, use formula, equals. If H2 equals 1, then I don't want to see that thing, so I'm going to say format the font to the same color as the background, which was this one. OK it, and you will not see the confusing ones, and you will see where the high correlations are and where the low correlations are. In general, weight does not correlate well with all those other ones, and force vital capacity and height doesn't correlate well with weight again. So weight is the useless one. This was just a STEAM course on range names. There is much more to range names. So I want you to feel more comfortable with Excel and the power of range names, so I created tools, 3 CD-ROMs, 2 books. They have a beautiful collection of issues that you want to know in Excel. If you are a scientist, you will go for these 2. If you are a more general user, you go to this one. And Excel VBA is if you want to program in Excel. You can find all of this at genesispc.com.